Honey, working hard? Impossible. Never happened once ever. Honey's famously too eepy to do anything ever and has certainly never worked herself to collapsing from exhaustion. Okay, maybe a couple times. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I want to make sure y'all are impressed. I want to make sure y'all are impressed, so I want to work extra hard. It's important. Kind of cute. Thank you, Dingy. Thank you. I'm already very impressed. What if I want to impress y'all more? I have to be ambitious, but like reasonably ambitious. Because if I'm not reasonably ambitious, then what's the point? You know? Nothing's ever gonna get done. At a certain point, I have to go finished, not perfect. And that's okay. That's okay. Tried starting a webcomic and just make it for fun. I did actually do a little webcomic. It's a very personal one. It's the first comic I really made since I was a teenager. And interestingly, I did it for therapy. I had a really good conversation with one of my friends, and she really opened my eyes to like how I have a hard time trusting people. And it's not anyone's fault. It's a preemptive sort of thing that my brain does to distance itself from other people so that I'm protected, but also it makes it hard for me to form meaningful connections because I have a hard time reaching out. And that is okay. I'm trying to cope with that. Because there's also a level of I am busy and tired all the time. I'm busy and tired all the time. And that's just how it works, you know? It's rough. And so I always feel like I'm missing out on opportunities to make friends with more people or deepen friendships because I'm scared to reach out and busy too. It's very easy to throw myself deeply into work because work is something that I never really have to worry about losing touch with, you know? So it creates a strangely unhealthy balance of art is the thing that I do to relax. Art is the thing I do for work. Art is the thing I do when I am feeling nervous. But art is also the thing I do when I'm happy. So much of my life revolves around art and making things that it is easier to neglect friendships when I go through that. And it's not good for myself. Going over that myself in my own sessions. Yeah. There's a difficulty a lot of the times reaching out. And I think for me, the problem is like I get overwhelmed quite easily by a lot of messages. And this isn't to say people messaging me are bad, not at all. When I get a lot of messages, I want to start conversations with all of them, but in starting conversations with everybody, I get really tired and socially overwhelmed. So it's a time to find a balance sort of thing. That would be a lot all at once, to be fair. Yeah, I think our brains were not really built to be connected with so many people, but I'm glad that they are. I think it's really lovely, and it can really show how hard people try to do good things and be kind to other people, even if it exhausts them, you know? People don't want to just brush other people off, if that makes sense. Yep, like there's so many that I don't feel like I can start that many conversations, so I'll start another. Yes, exactly. It's similar. It's a similar feeling to executive dysfunction, I think, if I had to describe it, where you have so many options, you don't know where to start, and you don't know how much time each one is going to take you, but you want to reach out, but also you don't want it to be draining, but you also don't want to be unentertaining. You don't want to be uninteresting. There's so much in there, and I am not even equipped to really get it, but it's just a feeling I have. If I get like 3 pings in a row, I go, what's going on? Did Discord get hate rated? Jasper, I used to have the capacity to socialize more. I'd reach out to so many people every single day. Now I barely have the capacity to look at messages, let alone read them or respond. Depression's a bitch. I did not think I was depressed. And granted, I don't even think I am depressed in the chemically deficient sense, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I need to be medicated because I don't think I am depressed. But I've definitely gone through a depression before. It's very different, I think. You can go through periods, and some people have it consistently. And there's very much a difference. I don't really know how to explain it fully, but yeah. Sometimes it just happens where you go through a rough period. Or sometimes it's a chemical imbalance in your brain, which going to a doctor is important. So I signed myself up for an intermediate drawing class as a way to meet new people and make friends. But it's also an art class and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so glad, Bloodasp. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you get to make new friends and new connections. Suchi, this is why it's easy for me to keep up friends, but really hard to keep up with friend groups, because a friend will only ever send you like so many messages before you respond, but a group can have threads, a whole 100 message combo while you're not there, and it's too much to keep up with for me. That's how I feel sometimes, where I'm like, sometimes I think I'm not really built for that, you know? I think that's one of the things I'm hoping I can change about myself the most. Learning how to actually make deep, meaningful connections rather than kind of being that funny guy who comes and goes, to have real close friends. I think that's a good thing to aspire to have. It's tough because it can be hard to find people like that, especially when you have online friendships and real life outside of online friendship responsibilities, because the availability changes. Some people want to be friends with people who are more available, and that is okay. I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. You want friends that are able to be there for you. I think it is tough because sometimes I cannot be there for people in many ways because I'm constantly running around. I'm constantly hanging out with family. I'm constantly working and doing work. And sometimes I just need to be alone. Just like rest time, being alone, not really sweating it, you know, taking it easy. It'd be a bad friendship experience if it's just making friends but not staying in contact. I think that depends. It is tricky because a lot of people want different things in relationships. And if you do not have that conversation where it's like, hey, what would you like out of this friendship? Or what would you like to feel during this friendship? How frequent is too frequent? How infrequent is too infrequent? It may sound like kind of making a checklist for people, but knowing what people are kind of expecting of you is good. Expecting isn't quite the right word, but making sure everyone's expectations are aligned with what can actually happen is really important.